What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlemania here, back with another video. Join us now as we look at this week's edition of Dynamite, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including a former WWE competitor wanted for murder, WWE confirms Vince is never coming back, could Matt Hardy leave AEW, John Cena says he's free for WrestleMania 40, the Young Bucks fire Kenny Omega, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlemania Shorts. As always, we won't recap the show, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as Okada debuts. Dynamite was a massive night as the Young Bucks introduced the latest member of the Elite. Unfortunately, it wasn't good news for Continental Champion Eddie Kingston, as he was taken out by the Elite's new partner in crime, Kazuchika Okada, who let Kingston know he's coming for his title. Number 2, Jericho and Hook looks interesting. Is Jericho allying with Hook? While it may seem like this potential team came out of right field, AEW did a serviceable job explaining things by having the Ocho explain his respect for Hook's old man and how he's impressed by Hook's performance at Revolution's All-Star Scramble match. We'll have more in the news as to why AEW is pairing Hook with Jericho, but for now, it has potential. Number 3, another tournament to look forward to. Does AEW have too many tournaments? While the company does seem to enjoy booking tournaments, they tend to do them very well, whether it was a recent Triple Crown Champion tournament or the first Owen Hart Cup. AEW has always been good about protecting its title's integrity and booking a tournament, rather than having Darby Allin choose his new tag partner to replace Sting, which is a smart move. It should open the door for some new teams to form, create new rivalries, and build suspense for the final winner. Number 4, Orange Cassidy may be better in tag role. Speaking of the tag titles, the Orange Cassidy and Trent Beretta team is not only a team to keep an eye on, but it's a good role for Cassidy. Whether or not you like freshly squeezed gimmick, he did an admirable job building up the International Championship. However, it's time for something different, and having him help Beretta get more exposure is a better role because Cassidy can give the rub to Trent. More importantly, Cassidy is better in smaller doses. Number 5, big bookings for big business. AEW is booking next week's Big Business Special Edition of Dynamite as a major show, which is a smart move given the rumors Mercedes Money aka Sasha Banks will debut. Wardlow vs Samoa Joe for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship has plenty of potential, as fans know a title change can't be ruled out. Throw in some other matches like Darby Allin vs Jay White, Rio vs Willow Nightingale, and Toni Storm bestowing the Tony Awards, which will either be comedy gold or a train wreck. Number 6, House of Black always wins on promos. Now, there are a few constants in AEW, but you can always count on the House of Black delivering a captivating promo. The group's chemistry and delivery always makes for entertaining segments. Julia Hart has always benefited from her time in the faction, as her solo promos have improved. Now if AEW would just book Black, Matthews, and King better. Number 7, AEW builds up its other shows. AEW continues to promote Rampage and Collision with angles, promos, and interviews on Dynamite. While AEW needs to book better matches on other shows, Rampage is still a glorified version of AEW Elevation, the company deserves credit for trying to steer viewers to its other shows. And a strong follow-up show. A lot happened on last Sunday's Revolution, and last night's Dynamite capitalized on the buzz from the show by booking a tournament for new tag team champions, introducing the latest member of the Elite, suspending Adam Page for going bonkers at Revolution, and giving fans a chance to see Will Ospreay at his best. But that was the good. What about the bad? Is number 1, Taven and Bennett job again. Matt Taven and Mike Bennett need to get off AEW television immediately. Either that or take the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles off them, as they seem to be an embarrassment to the Ring of Honor. AEW can put the titles on Roderick Strong, Taven and Bennett, but they still look and wrestle like jobbers to the stars. And Brian Cage back to jobbing? Well, that didn't take long. Brian Cage went from badass big man at Revolution's All-Star Scramble to just another big man to feed to Hook. But at least there was nothing downright ugly. AEW hyped Big Business up as a must-see event with a world title match, and you know who's about to debut. What do you guys think of Dynamite last night? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Now first story looks at a former WWE competitor wanted for murder. On top of today's news is law enforcement search for former Tough Enough competitor Daniel Rodimer in relation to an arrest warrant for murder. The case in question concerns the death of 47-year-old Christopher Tapp. According to Las Vegas Metropolitan Police press statement, on October 29, 2023, medical personnel responded to a call for service regarding a male later identified as 47-year-old Christopher Tapp, suffering from injuries as a result of a purported accident. Tapp was transported to the hospital and was later pronounced deceased. It went on to note, through the course of the suspicious death investigation, LVMPD homicide detectives have learned that Tapp was in an altercation inside a room at a resort before being located and transported to the hospital. Rodimer was later identified as a suspect in the case, and a warrant was issued for his arrest for murder. According to a report from People, Rodimer's attorney states that the former wrestler and congressional candidate is flying to Las Vegas to turn himself in. Mr. Rodimer is voluntarily surrendering to authorities and will post a court-ordered bail. His attorneys David Chesnoff and Richard Schoenfeld wrote in a statement to People he intends on vigorously contesting the allegations and asks that the presumption of innocence guaranteed all Americans be respected. The police report indicates the altercation allegedly occurred after the deceased offered Rodimer's stepdaughter cocaine during a party in the resort's World Suite, according to Metro police documents per the Las Vegas Review-Journal. After Rodimer allegedly went into the same bathroom with Tapp was in and said, "If you ever talk to my daughter again, I'll effing kill you." This is according to the police report. Whilst these details have not been confirmed, they do give an idea why the police are considering Rodimer as their suspect. Daniel Rodimer competed in WWE's Tough Enough competition in 2004. He was signed to a one-year developmental deal in 2006 and subsequently released in 2007. Dave Meltzer had a bit of a tone-deaf joke. As the IWC deals with the fallout from the Rodimer story, we're scratching our heads over a remark made by Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer Radio. Brian Alvarez was reading the story of the victim's cause of death as blunt force trauma to the head when Meltzer remarked something to the effect that the victim took LA Knight's move. Kind of a time and a place, yeah? Next up, WWE confirms Vince is never coming back. Vince McMahon's recent stock sale hasn't gone unnoticed by people monitoring the lawsuit against McMahon. It also hasn't gone unnoticed by TKO Holdings president Mark Shapiro, who was asked about McMahon putting over $400 million worth of his TKO stock up for sale. According to Shapiro, he remarked, "We're not in conversations with him. We do not know his motives, his plans, or his timeline. He doesn't work for the company, doesn't come into the office, and he's not coming back to the company, and that's where we sit." It looks like just the latest example of TKO trying to remove all remnants of McMahon's time in the company. Next up, the Young Bucks have fun with Triple H. Kazuchika Okada is all elite, and it looks like AEW Executive Vice Presidents Matthew and Nicholas Jackson took the time to poke fun at Triple H when they posed for a picture with their new partner. The Bucks pointed their fingers at Okada as they congratulated him, much like Triple H does with a new wrestler or a newly crowned champion. Next up, the Young Bucks fire Kenny Omega. However, the Bucks weren't all about fun and games. Last night's Dynamite featured the brothers Jackson tend to some internal housekeeping as they suspended Hangman Adam Page from the Elite for going off on an AEW official at Revolution. They also fired Kenny Omega from the Elite for failing to show up to work, as Omega is currently sidelined with diverticulitis. Some fans noted that the Bucks didn't suspend Page or fire Omega from AEW but from the Elite, a subtle sign they don't have the usual storyline power associated with malicious authority figures. Next up, could Matt Hardy leave AEW? While Matt's intentions are unknown, Fightful Select is reporting that Hardy's AEW contract expires this month. Fightful added, "Originally we were told that Jeff Hardy's AEW deal was set to match up to Matt's deal as far as length, but injuries and inactivity led to that no longer being the case and there's time added to the deal. Would you guys think that Matt will stay with AEW, or would you guys like to see him come back to the WWE or elsewhere? Let us know in the comments down below." Next up, WWE Scores Big. Congrats to the WWE on reaching a YouTube milestone, as Inside the Ropes is reporting on March 6th the channel passed 100 million subscribers, becoming the 10th channel on the platform to hit this major milestone. In regards to the magnitude of this achievement, the promotion has more subscribers than music megastars Taylor Swift, Eminem, and Ed Sheeran by a considerable margin. Next up, AEW debuts a new set and opening. And Dynamite debuted a new set and opening segment, but so far the reactions are a little mixed. While AEW fans like the return of the entrance tunnels and bright colors on the set, the new logo for Dynamite is less than inspired. There's also differing opinions on the new opening, which seems like a remix of Raw's Attitude Era opening, but what do you guys think? Next up, John Cena says he's free for Wrestlemania 40. Now, is John Cena going to appear at Wrestlemania 40? Unlike Dennis Stamp, Cena hasn't been booked. He revealed during an appearance on The Tonight Show it's April 6th in Philadelphia. I know exactly where it is. I'm free that day. I'm just saying to you guys out there. Now the energy's coming back a little bit. The suspense is building. Cena teased the fans by saying he could end up in a match against The Rock, but then he said he's not in the habit of making promises he can't keep. Nonetheless, a Cena appearance seems more likely than ever. And finally, Lex Luger praises WWE. Last but not least, Luger recently appeared on Busted Open Radio and he took time to thank the WWE for what he called a classy move in letting him attend Sting's last match. WWE is classy. They said we can go to Sting's last match and everything, just don't be on camera, it'll be a part of the match. But there you have it folks, our look at Dynamite as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.